Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. It's time for some first impressions again. 2 new fragrances from the house of Dunhill, Icon Racing Red and Icon Racing Blue. It has taken forever before I could get my hands on these. And I'll let you guys know these are at Amazon in the US if you want to pay $130 each. Yeah, that's a rough price. But hey, it's coming direct from Dunhill, so you don't have to worry if it's fake or not. So there's that, I guess. In this video, like always, I'm going to unbox these. I'm going to show you guys the presentation, spray them on, and see how they smell first impression-wise. So let's jump into it. First thing I'll tell you guys is these boxes. These are heavy duty, these are sturdy. Now, everybody that's ever held an Icon bottle knows that they are heavy duty bottles. You can chuck them across a room, hit somebody in the head, and you're going to jail for manslaughter. So when you pick these up, they've got a heft to them. And thankfully, the bottles don't jostle around too much in there. Now, if you wonder why that would be important, whether they jostle around too much, just look at the newest Mont Blanc Explorer Ultra Blue. That thing pretty much just flops around in the bottle willy-nilly. When you pull it out, the top of the cap is scuffed to crap. That's not gonna matter to some people, but for a lot of people, they don't wanna spend a bunch of money on a fragrance, get it in brand new, open it up, and when you peer down in the box, just see something that looks like a guy ran by with a Brillo pad and screwed up your cap. Let's check this one out first. Dunhill Icon Racing Red. Here's a look at the box. I've got to say, I like the way that this looks, and Icon Blue as well. They both look nice. Got a little stripe up at the top there. There's a look at the bottom. KK02, that's your batch code. And here's the bottle, just your standard Icon bottle, only in red. There it is. And there's a little stripe on the inside. Well, let's give it a spray. Let's see how it is. Hopefully there's at least one winner here. You know, we've got red, we've got blue. One of these should at least be good, right? I'm hoping. This one is pretty green. There's some orange there, but not a huge amount, just a little bit, and it's more mandarin orange. So it has this green tinge. And actually there's this green vibe all through the opening. Yeah, there's some solar notes here in the opening as well, but mainly it's green, fresh and green. Little pops of spice as well, but not too much, and frankly, less citrus than I was expecting. I know some people have compared this to Eros Flame, and I can kind of get where people are coming from there, but it's not the exact same. I would say on the whole, most people would probably like Eros Flame more than Icon Racing Red. Eros Flame just has a little bit more of that, you know, attention-grabbing feel to it, a little more sweetness than what you've got here. That's not to say this is devoid of sweetness, because it's got a little bit, but not on par with Eros Flame. While I let this dry down, let's go ahead and open up Icon Racing Blue and give that one a spray. And here we've got the box for Icon Racing Blue. Let me know in the comments below which presentation is better, blue or red. I will say that red has that little additional black stripe, so it's black and white instead of just straight up white. So maybe that one makes the red pop a little more. Batch code KK06. And here's the bottle for Icon Racing Blue. And there's your stripe. All right, it's in a blue bottle. What am I expecting? A blue fragrance, of course. Let's go ahead and spray it on and see how it is and see if this is another blue scent. And if it is it a good one? So this is really sea salty. So oceanic, but not a dirty oceanic vibe. Just that brisk ambroxany sea saltiness with a touch of lime, a squeeze of lime in there. You can also pick this driftwood up pretty much right away. So you have driftwood, you've got ambroxan, sea salt, and a squeeze of lime right off the top. It's refreshing, it's brisk, it's not overly citrusy. Is it something that's really, really unique? As of right now, I'd say no. For now, I'm gonna hop off. I'll be right back in 2 seconds with the dry down, so I'll be right back to let you guys know how they changed. All right, guys, I've let these dry down. Time to talk about how they've changed, and I also went and had my wife smell them and give her opinion, so I'll let you guys know what she thought as well. First up, the wife's opinion on Dunhill Icon Blue. So this one, she said, smells like just a generic summertime freshie. Said, in her words, that it smells like a billion other things out there. Then Icon Red, she said, smelled better than Blue and that it was more interesting, but at the same time smelled familiar and wasn't mind-blowing. So for her, both of them were just, they were okay. And I gotta say, for the most part, I agree with her. In the description below, I'm gonna leave alternatives to both of these fragrances. So fragrances that I think are done in a similar style that accomplish similar things, but are much better than these ones. So if you wanted something kind of in the same vein as these, I would get those first. Because these at $130 right now, no. Icon Red does change a lot more than Icon Blue. As Icon Red dried down, it hit this part where it was kind of warm and sweet. The olive Anthem came in a little bit, smelled nice, still had remnants of the orange from the opening, not too much of it though. Then as it dries down further, this is, a little strange. Maybe you wouldn't think it would go this route, but actually geranium comes out more. So with Icon Red, as it dries down, actually, the sweetness fades away. That was there in the opening, and the first part as it heads into the mid. Then it becomes mainly geranium and amberwood. Well, amberwood, I don't think is an official note here, but it's got an amberwoody kind of scent profile. Technically, it's cedar and amber and vetiver and notes like that, but what it ends up smelling like is kind of amberwood. And the way the geranium is used reminds me slightly of how it's used in K, Dolce & Gabbana K. This doesn't smell like K, but the way the geranium is used is similar. So it's almost like if you could, cut that little piece of K out, that part of it, you could find that in here, but everything else around it is different. Dunhill Icon Racing Blue, that one is still really sea salty, driftwood, a little bit of coriander in there, but it's still pretty close to when you first spray it on. The citrus goes away, but that's the main difference. As I mentioned, you can get a little bit of that spice in there, a little fresh spice, but not too much. So between the two, I think that red is more interesting, and I think the one that I would probably wear the most of is blue. Yeah. Between the two fragrances, I think red is a little more interesting than blue. And I think that for most people, blue would get more wear than red. It's just one of those simplistic, dumb reach scents, ambroxany, little touch of citrus. Yeah, just easy to pull off. So I think a lot of people could wear this, reach for it anytime that it's warm outside. Red has a little bit less in terms of versatility than blue, so that's why I think more people would wear blue. Like I said though, and I want to make this clear, $130, never, ever pay that price for these. They are not worth it. You will regret it. They don't smell bad. Neither one of these smells bad. Neither one of these is offensive. Also, neither one of these is really doing anything new. These are, for me, not on the level of the original Icon. That one is probably still the best. So are these releases failures? At $130, yes. I would say for 99% of people, they would be considered a failure. Once they hit discounters for $30, $35, somewhere in that range, they're gonna be a lot more attractive to a lot more people. And I think that's where you're gonna see more play with these, potentially having people pick them up and use them once it hits that kind of price range. If it never does, if these go to discounters and they hover around $50, $55, something like that, I would say you've got to pass. Again, in the description, alternatives, 3 each for each one of these fragrances that I think would be a better match for you and work better all the way around. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me and do it for these two until later on down the road where maybe I'll give more review. We'll see. It's been a long time to get these, and can't say I'm really excited anymore. All right, guys, it's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.